Hi guys, I'm Wordy and welcome to my Sewerville build. So this is done on a PlayStation 4 Pro and is in Vault 88. The reason why it is a sewer is I was getting extremely bored with the Vault building, so I decided to do something that I found a little bit more exciting to do. Now you will have to bear with me for a minute. This is just the entry area. I do have an entire town to show you. As we go around, you'll see that there is absolutely none of the old vault existing anymore. I have scrapped all of that, and what I have also done is I have gone through all of the cave system that I haven't used and brought back all of the rock from there. Reason why is we didn't have any vault rock or anything like that when I did start building this, so I sort of had to recycle everything to terraform the main area, which we'll get to in a moment. There is a backstory to this build. It is a ghoul settlement. So when the bombs started dropping, there was a skilled trades convention on at the CRT building, and a whole heap of these skilled trades people were all carpooled together in a minibus. So when the bombs did start dropping, these guys needed to seek some shelter, and Quincy Quarries here was their best option. Now, Quincy Quarries was a nuclear waste dumping ground, so that coupled with the radiation from the bombs, ghoulification was something that was a bit inevitable for these people. Now in here is just the pump room, and this is just to house my vanilla workbench there. And so this spot here is probably a good example to show sort of how different it is. This is normally all surrounded by vault wall. Bulls were sort of stuck down here and had to make this home. They sort of made best use of the place as possible, combined all of their skills, which are the likes of blacksmiths, stonemasons, a whole various range of skilled tradespeople. That's sort of what made this place what it is today. So you'll see a net just there. That net is catching all of the bulk waste. They do like to try and keep it clean in here, or as clean as you could possibly make a sewer. So not only does that help keep it a little bit cleaner inside there, it also stops that purifier from blocking up. The first main area we'll go into here is my blacksmith area, which has my armour and weapons vendors in there. In this build you will see a lot of custom objects that have been made by me, so please don't ask what mod some of these custom objects will be in. You will have to recreate them yourself. You will plain and simple not find them in mods. Okay, so this is one of my custom pieces. This is a crane, and its purpose is to lift this vat up, put it onto this cart, which gets pushed over to the turntable here, which then goes over here to this machine, which picks it up, sticks it into the holding arms there, and pulls it into my moulds. Now this is my weapons manufacturing machine, and everything you see in this build that is normally functional is still functional. It is a proper settlement, it isn't just a build, which means I have also catered for all of the requirements for the settlers. Okay, so not only is this a big build, it also has 24 settlers in here, so I'm quite happy with how sort of steady the frames are best part of the time on this build. Okay, so here's my blacksmith. There's a bit of a custom workbench I made for him there. There's his anvil. That's a custom forge that I've made for him for a set of bellows. This is a water bath, and it's not just a water bath, it doubles up as an anodizer. Bit of a dodgy anodizer, but anodizer at the least. So here we have a conveyor belt with all my scrap metal, which takes it all up over to this vat to be melted down. Okay, so once it's melted, it goes into this area just here, flows along this pipe into the vat and goes through that process that I showed you before. Okay, and if you're wondering what that is a raider. We got sick of them coming down here, so now they get chucked into that vat, which has created a little bit of a story up top that if they come in here and try and mess with us, then their blood will be in our forged weapons and armours. So just to create a little bit of a stigma up above there to try and help keep them out. This piece just here is just to give off the impression that this is what keeps the water level down inside here. And this is my weapons shop. You can also get various armour pieces. Okay, this guy never leaves his station, so this futon style bed here is another custom object that I've made. Most of what you see inside this display cabinet is from a mod called Military Clutter. Now there is a few custom objects made by me in here, one being this spiked ball and chain, much loved by the super mutants. And for the more sadistic sort of player that comes in here, we have a hooked arm piece. There's a steel ball on a lead pipe and a ball and chain. Okay, so over here we also have a nice secure piece of power armor on display. And this is what we have on display in our shop here. This area just here was largely inspired by the Mechanist lair. So as you'll see, there is a lot of sort of similarities in sort of the functional purpose of the place and the design. In here we have my robot worker Tim, who looks after the computer maintenance and also keeps check on the security. So part of that security being that periscope that you would have seen outside the entry there. As we come in, it looks over the main entrance and sends the feed back into here. Okay, up top that houses my power armor, and that's turned out to be quite a good setup. It has a fusion core that's been left in there the whole time I've been in here, and the settlers have not once gone and tried to steal that. And I think that's because it's in such a tight room, and the door that I'm about to open up to get up there, which is the Mechanist ramp door, isn't recognised by settlers as being a door, so it's sort of just seen as an obstruction to them. Okay, so this door you will not find in any of the mods that we have. You'll have to use my QwaPA exploit trick to steal this from the Mechanist lair if you do want that, unless someone does add it from a mod. Again, this workstation is functional. I can get behind there and do a bit of work on that. And we'll just zip around the front and I'll just show you a little bit more of that setup. Okay, so much like the Mechanist setup, I have a microphone there for means of intimidation to talk to people when they come in here when they aren't welcome, unless they're a raider, which gets killed on site. You might be able to just see the PA speakers up the top there. Okay, so that's enough for this area. We'll go over to my farming area now. So the main farming thing here is the tar berries. Anyone who knows the history of the slog knows that cultivated tara berries can only be found at the slog. and it's one of those things that ghouls are sort of quite proud of. Now you'll see there's a pipe that comes out of the water from the other side here that goes over to a pump there that I've made. The reason for that is this area is blocked off, and one of the requirements to grow good cultivated tar berries is as clean and fresh water as possible. So this is my desalination and purifying pump. One of the other hurdles they had in here was it being a cave, there was no light. But they found that these fog condensers gave off perfect light to grow the tar berries, and that's why that is here. Okay, so you will see some fish swimming around in the water as well. I think I might have mentioned before that this place has been made as self-sufficient as possible by the ghouls. So the fish are in here to sort of help fertilise the tar berries. This platform here is for the settlers to load all their tar berries onto, and they can push the floating platform over here up against the pavement area and offload easily into the packing room. Okay, so you'll see there are other bits of produce around, and that's because as much as they love their tar berries, they don't just like tar berries. So in order to get themselves a bit more variety of produce, they've made themselves a hydroponics area. Okay, so you might be able to just see the water in that drain on the left, and just sort of bits of detail around the place like the puddles on the ground. And these beds just here, they're not just dirt beds, they are also contain water, so they're essentially hydroponic water beds. Now you'll see most of the produce in the Commonwealth available in here. Not quite all of it, I did have all of it in here at one stage, but I took some of it out just for the cosmetics sides of things.
Yes.
Okay, so as we go around as well, sort of tried to make it as scenic as possible from every angle possible, so everything sort of looks nice all the time everywhere we go. Okay, so as long as humans walk the earth, we know we have liked to bury the dead, so I thought it would be fitting to put in a graveyard. We'll go have a look at that right now. Okay, as we go through here, one of the first things you'll see there is my altar, so we'll check that out first. And the settlers here also don't mind dabbling in a bit of Ouija, so they have their own little Ouija table there. There's also some flowers for anybody who wants to come in here and pay respects to their lost loved ones. Alright, so on the left here we will see a crypt. We'll get to that in a moment. That is one of my favourite pieces in this area. So someone's been getting into a little bit of rock stacking here, and there's also sort of a little bit of a scenario I've done there with the gnomes. A bit of bang bang, stabby stabby going on with them, and the red one's lost. Okay, so my crypt. I've dedicated this to OCDecorator or OICTOOTP, the modder. He's added a lot of the objects that you'll find throughout my whole build, so I thought sort of dedicate this to him for putting in the great work to make this sort of thing possible for us. As a result, I asked him to make his own custom piece if he would like to for the back wall here, and this is what he came up with. I think it looks great. Okay, so here's another custom piece there that I've made, this headstone. Right, the next area we'll be going to is my fish farm. Now before we get right into that, I will just show you this ramp that I have going here, which is just an alternative way of getting up top here to these other areas, which we'll get to in a while. Okay, so the story behind this area is those two sewer pipes that you can see just there, they were blocked off to start with. So over the years the ghouls have extended the pipe work out to the ocean to get the fresh water flowing in here. Now that suits a few purposes. One, it helps to keep the main area a bit cleaner, and also because they raise the water level up here with this wall, it's created a bit of water flow, which is what helps create power for our hydro generator. Okay, and this is my odd little turtle. One of my residents, we had to put this barrier up. She gets a little bit feisty at times, and this being her main spot to like to sit. When the workers were coming past, we had some sort of traumatic incidences from those huge claws. Okay, so over here we have a guy who's sort of a little bit of a loner. He just spends his whole day here fishing and doesn't mingle, interact with anybody else in the settlement. Okay, you'll see some live fish swimming around here. They don't go through the net, so it's just to show that it is possible to sort of get some live fish look like there, or netted up and walled in. I will sort of point out that that is very, very hard to do. It is a fine line as to whether they're going to start swimming through the nets or not. Okay, over here we have our workers area, or fish packing area. And that area there is our swimming pool area, but we'll get to that via another entry. But to keep going with my custom theme that I've had going throughout this build, I decided that I wanted a fish mincer. Alright, so that's pretty much it for down the bottom here. We'll now make our way up the top. This next area we will come to is my general store / pub, because no town would be complete without a pub or somewhere to buy some food. Alright, so over here we have a bit of live entertainment. A bit of a cooking area. Okay, so I'll point out the shell of this log building wasn't built by me, that is added by a mod. But everything else that you see has been done by me. I've redone all of the floor areas in this, and you'll sort of see everything else that I've done there. Anyone who has downloaded the mod that contains this log building will sort of be aware already exactly what I've done in here. But this bar that you see is all the custom built log bar by me. Over here we have some custom tables.
Yeah.
Those beer taps, they are in a mod. They are a creation by Fallout 4 guy, and I'm pretty sure you find those in a mod called Work in Progress Requested.
Yes.
And that is literally found in the Work in Progress section, so you'll have to hunt for that. I will put a link for that mod in my description of the video to make it a little bit easier for you guys if you want to go get it that way. There's a lot of beer stuff available in that. That includes that spirit rack on the back wall there as well. Over here we have a custom retro gaming cabinet that I've made. Quite happy with how that turned out. So this is shot checkers. So a little bit of entertainment for the drunks and the gamblers that like to gather around here. This is another custom cabinet that I've made. And this is sort of the general store part of the place there. So just a quick little couple of overview scans. Alright, these are my custom bridges. You might have already sort of picked up on that as we're going through. This one's a combination between a steel, having the steel rail, but the deck is more like a rope cable style sort of bridge.
Strong not want to live in metal tunnel. Too small.
Alright, here we have some dripping water.
Strong getting hungry.
This is just
just
an added bit of detail that I put in there. The splashing on the rock, creating the ripples in the puddle, filling up the cracks of the rocks. Okay, so over here we have my lodge. Now, poor Strong, the people who own this place, sort of don't quite fully trust him, but they've allowed him to set up residence outside here.
So many humans, not many super mutants. So much walking.
So that's a rain catcher from a mod. I think it was added by QwaPA, so I've just sort of added that in there and added all my own decoration to it. And also that piece there. He might be a super mutant, but if anything goes in, it's got to come out. Some super mutant style kebabs. And this is a bit of a slow cooker to get the meat off the bone for his stews. Alright, so this lodge, that's been made by me. There's quite a lot of work in there, especially with using QwaPA.
Humans all look funny. Humans make this too high.
In here our stonemason has been busy. He's cut a spar out of the cave there. And while he was at it, he also cut out a bit of a communal cooker area here.
Yeah.
And we've got some benches there integrated into the rock. This is just a general storage maintenance area. And when you've got to go, you've got to go. This is for the people who decide that they're going to lodge here. There's two style of rooms. There's the singles and drifters shared rooms. And there is also family rooms.
World is bigger than Strong knew. Strong getting hungry. Want someone to eat.
Yeah, this is another family room.
So much walking. Want to do more fighting. So many humans. Not many supervillains.
And another singles drifters shared room. Okay, so we'll go up to the main residence. This is laid out like you would expect any sort of hotel, motel, where the people who own the place also reside on the premises. This is a little sort of entertaining area for anybody who they wish to entertain from downstairs. This area here is just a sort of little eating area on the deck. Yeah, this one's over here is where they like to sort of have a bit of a beer and get off their head.
This place not too smashed. Maybe good human junk here.
And they also like to brew their own alcohol.
Not work very good for humans. Strong hope we find milk of humankind soon.
Okay, next up, I'll do another quick little sort of overview shots there, or sort of places I like to sort of have a look. I think they've got the better views.
Strong protect you. Human say, got your back.
Around the place.
Strong want to smash someday. Fist was weak leading. Strong glad to be rid.
Okay, these are another style custom bridge that I've made. We'll be able to get a better look at those from over the other side, but they're more like a sort of cable rope bridge. This area just here is a little private sort of get together spot for if you want to bring some family or friends and you wish to sort of stay away from the pub scene. Also has some of the best views in the whole place. Okay, so from the side here we can see these bridges a little bit better. Alright, so we needed a cooking area for here, so I've decided to make my own sort of rotisserie. So that was quite difficult to make. We'll just get that meat on there a bit better. There's probably a lot more work gone into that than what it looks like.
Yes.
Okay, and if you're wondering where these pulley wheels come from, they've been added to Fallout 4 Guy requested mod. In that mod you'll find a lot of stuff in there that's been added by myself and Fallout 4 Guy, by Oik2P. Essentially we just went around and hunted down a lot of objects that weren't being put in by other mods, so we had a little bit more available to build with. Alright, so this next area is our school. I tried to make this place as sort of compact as possible, but without making it cluttered, so it still has a bit of an open feel at the same time. Okay, so this is a primary school slash preschool. So you can see my custom slippery dip there. A bit of a ramp for the kids to ride their trikes up and down. Over here is our sort of clean sanitary sort of area. So we have a change table, a clothesline, a sort of vanity with a place to wash our hands, bin and toilets. This is a custom vanity that I have made. Quite happy with how that turned out. And we also see here I have a handball court. And just there we have a pogo ball. And we have those horse head on a stick thing for the kids to gallop around on. And we also have a little agriculture area there for kids to sort of learn how to take care of plants and food. This is the kids' blackboard, so there's a bit of immature sort of stuff going on here. Spirit, top right hand side, Spirit fixes Professor Stanwick's. Bottom left hand side, Alan XXX Glory. And so on the right in the middle there you'll see her starry eyes fix me. That's supposed to be her starry eyes fix me, I think, because otherwise it's a little bit creepy. And down the bottom there one of his friends has come along and written need a doctor to fix eyes. So how I've done that is all of the words that we have available, we don't have individual letters available in the chalk stuff, things like that, so I've sort of just slightly tilted them and hid bits of words that I didn't want and used bits of words that I do want to create new words and whatnot. So into the classroom. You'll notice the walls are all sort of tilted and angled. This building is a custom building, and that being the walls mainly that I'm referring to there. So what classroom would be complete without one of these skeletons to teach kids about the human body? Just to point out the detail there, you'll see a ring in the skeleton's head. I just like to sort of put as much detail in my builds as possible. Alright, so onto the teacher's blackboard. So we've got Professor Stanwick's Combat Safety this August. Fix your Glock. Rule number 1, no fighting. Okay. And you'll see down the bottom left there in the green fish, I've got Lone Wanderers are welcome. I did want to make that Soul Survivors, but that was proving a bit of a hard task, so I stuck with Lone Wanderers. And welcome to a Megaton neutral zone. That's to teach the kids that if there was to ever be bombs, Megaton class bombs dropped on the surface again, they would be safe down here. So just another custom cabinet that I've made there. Alright, so make our way out to the teachers' eating, smoking area, which is just a little bit of a filler. Coming out here. And again, the yellow bridge lifts, if you do want those, they're not in mods. We need to use the exploit that I found there to get those. So on my channel you will find a couple of videos there outlining how to steal stuff like that we don't have in mods available. Okay, and down we have our swimming pool, so this is where the kids learn to do a bit of swimming, and outside of school hours it is open to the public for a bit of entertainment. Okay, so this area isn't just a filler, it does have some purpose as well. Over here I've made a pool pump which generates us some purified water. Okay, so now back out to the fish packing area. Alright, so that is all that I have to show on this. Sorry about the long video, I have tried to get through it as quick as possible without glossing over too much. There are a few other things that I would like to have covered in more detail, but I think it's hard enough to get people to sit through a video this long in the first place. I hope you enjoyed that. It has taken quite a long time to make this build, and I don't ask for likes and shares normally, but if you could like and share if you do like this video, that'd be much appreciated. Not too sure how long it will be before I pop another one of these out. It will be quite a while, and if you are still around, I will see you then.